Hello everyone, how are you today? I am Shimelis and welcome back to History with Shime video learning program. Today's topic is Great History Unit 1, Part 4 about American Civil War. The American Civil War was fought from 1861 to 1865 between the northern states of America, known as the Union, and the southern states of America, known as the Confederates. The Union wanted to abolish slavery in the USA, whereas the Confederates wanted to keep slavery as it formed the base of their economy. So, the issue of slavery eventually led to the Civil War. The Southern economy depended mainly on cotton. The white plantation owners in the southern states viewed slavery as essential for survival. So the northern economy was based on industry. This economic disparity led to opposing differences in social and political views. In the North, there was a strong anti slavery movement known as abolitionism. Abraham Lincoln won the presidential election in the year 1860s. So this was one of the immediate causes for the outbreak of the Civil War. Why? Abraham Lincoln, from the beginning known as it is anti-slavery abolitionist movement, he supported the abolition of slavery from the United States of America. Immediately as he took the power, he amended the Constitution. Lincoln and the Republican Party promised to prevent the spread of slavery into the newly incorporated territories. Shortly after the election of Abraham Lincoln, 11,000 states formed the Confederacy led by Jefferson Davis as a rich plantation owner and declared secession. So this resulted in the 1861 outbreak of the Civil War, which ended in 1865. At the beginning of the Civil War, the Southerners inflicted a victory, but later on they did not keep their victory because of the two proclamations issued by Abraham Lincoln. In January 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation and Homestead Law. Emancipation Proclamation is related to the freedom of slavery. According to this proclamation, as of January 1, 1863, every slave found in the United States of America were free. And the second proclamation was related to land. Homestead law is related to land. It gives land for the landless Americans, including the newly freed slaves. So these two proclamations helped Abraham Lincoln to defeat the Southerners. Why? Because based on the first proclamation, that was the Emancipation Proclamation, after January 1, 1863, many slaves flocked from the southern states of northern state. This increased the army of the federal. The last Confederate surrender occurred on November 6, 1865. President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizers, on April 14, 1865. Means after the Southerners were capitulated, of the 5 days of the Southerners were defeated. Results of the Civil War. On December 6, 1865, the 13th Amendment was adopted, which officially outlawed slavery. With this, slavery was totally abolished from the United States of America. The collapse of the plantation economy in the southern part could be the other results. And the following are some of the results, like the rise of industrialization, larger city centers, and the development of infrastructure such as railroads, banks, and factories in the southern part of the United States of America. Dear my students, now we are going to look another topic, nationalism and the Eastern question. Before the topic, my lovely students, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel. The Eastern question was a diplomatic problem posed in the 19th and early 20th century. It arose as a result of the following. The first factor that arose Eastern question was the rise of nationalist feelings among the Balkan people. The Balkan people or the Balkan states are states found in the southeastern Europe around the Balkan mountains. And for many years, such states were controlled by the Ottoman Empire, one of the greatest empires of the 14th, 15th, and 16th century. The second factor that arose the Eastern question was the declining of the Turkish Empire and the divergent interest of the great powers in the Near East. When we say the great powers of the period were like Great Britain, Russia, Germany, Italy, Austro-Hungary, and the like. All these states have their own interest in such areas. The Balkans were part of the decaying Ottoman Empire. This region was home to people with multi-ethnic backgrounds such as the Serbs, Bulgarians, Romanians, and the Greeks. In the early 1800s, discontent or conflict in the Balkan region was increased by the rise of nationalism, means state formation. Following the decline of the Ottoman Turkish rule in this region, different countries competed to dominate the Balkans. As I had mentioned earlier, such great powers were Russia, Great Britain, France, Austria Hungary, Italy, and Germany followed their national interests in the Balkan region. For example, Russia supported the Balkan nationalists for several reasons. One of the reasons is the Russians were Slavs, like the Bulgarians and the Serbs. They were Orthodox Christians, while the Russians supported the nationalists, like the Balkan states. Moreover, Russia wanted to gain access to the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. Britain's main concern was to protect its interest in India and did not want the Russians in the Mediterranean Sea. They supported the Turks to suppress the nationalist movement, means the Balkans. Austria, Austria supported the Ottomans because they did not want Russian expansion in the region. Between 1878 and the 1930s, Romania, Montenegro, Serbia, and others got their independence and they appeared on European maps. So, with this, I am winding up my topic. Bye bye.